Pittsburgh and Cincinnati came out swinging with touchdowns on their opening drives, and then the game immediately turned into a punt marathon. But just before halftime, everything shifted when Aaron Rodgers headed to the locker room early, clearly favoring his left wrist after taking a few hits. Pittsburgh still took a 10-6 lead into the break thanks to Rodgers' early touchdown to Kenneth Gainwell, Darnell Washington bulldozing half the Bengals' defense on a 31-yard catch and run, and Chris Boswell knocking through a short field goal. But with Rodgers' status suddenly uncertain and Keyshawn Williams already ruled out with a concussion, the Steelers went into halftime holding their breath. Over in Cleveland, a completely different quarterback storyline was unfolding, and it could become the Raiders' problem next week. Dylan Gabriel left the Browns' loss to the Ravens with a concussion, which meant rookie Shedeur Sanders finally stepped onto an NFL field for the first time. And it was rough. Sanders went 4 for 16, threw a pick, took 2 sacks, fumbled, got hit with intentional grounding, and finished with a passer rating of 13.5. The Ravens even trolled him with his own watch celebration after a sack. But depending on Gabriel's concussion timeline, Sanders could make his first career start next week in Las Vegas. The Raiders' defense would absolutely welcome that matchup. Sanders was one of the most polarizing prospects in the 2025 draft, slid all the way to the 5th round, and looked every bit like a rookie thrown into chaos on Sunday. Yet inside the Browns' locker room, the reaction to Sanders wasn't mockery. It was leadership. Myles Garrett, fresh off a 4-sack masterpiece and making NFL history with his 6th straight 12-sack season, stood up for the rookie. Garrett said Sanders tried to take the blame for the loss in front of the team, and the veterans shut it down immediately. It was the first moment Cleveland has seen where Sanders tried to take ownership, and Garrett wasn't letting the kid wear the entire result. Cleveland's defense kept them competitive all night, but with only 9 points scored on offense outside of Devin Bush's pick six, even Garrett's dominance couldn't save them from a 23-16 loss. Now the Browns head to Las Vegas at 2-8, and their quarterback situation is hanging in the balance. Kevin Stefanski says Dylan Gabriel is still the starter as soon as he clears concussion protocol, but concussions rarely move on a schedule. If Gabriel isn't good to go, Sanders gets thrown right back into the fire, this time against a Raiders team on a short week. It's a massive amount of pressure for a rookie with half a game of NFL experience and a tough debut behind him. Whether he's ready or not, Week 12 might be the moment he gets to prove that everything he said during the draft process about wanting a clear path to playing time was earned. Between Rodgers' injury watch, Sanders' potential first start, and Garrett putting the entire Browns locker room on his back, next week could reshape the direction of 2 struggling AFC teams. The Raiders might get a chance to feast on a rattled rookie. The Browns might get a chance to see the future. And the Steelers, somehow, remain atop the AFC North despite another game full of bruises, uncertainty, and pure chaos.